When I was being read to, it was the theatrics of the reader's voice that kept me interested. My grandmother read to me in bed, as many loving mothers and grandmothers and fathers and grandfathers did. My grandfather actually made up stories on the fly. They were scary tales about werewolves and lightning bugs floating around in the pitch-black darkness of the backyard, where if you roamed, as the child in the story did, you were gobbled and eaten all up, whole. My grandmother's stories were the same. The hungry crocodile pretended to be a seesaw, staying as still and quiet as possible to lure the Central American children over where he could snatch them up as they played. Surreal art pervaded stories about a polar bear with a fur coat, Captain Ahab on a flying fish, the cat in the bird mask, or the seagulls with harps for mouths. As a child, these stories were given to me. My earliest memory of reading was not actually me reading. I was watching a cute boy across the room read as his mouth mouthed the words in his book. I didn't know how to read and I was in first grade. I reenacted that boy's mouthing to make it look like I was deeply involved in the, I'm sure, 100-page novel I had chosen to stare at for an hour. I know I sound crass right now. My bad habits in school carried on all the way up to the present. I can tell you that I have an entire bookshelf of random fictions and non-fictions that have not been read, but they will stay there and accumulate because of my obsessive need to have interesting, eclectic books that maybe one day I'll get around to flipping through. I've always been a slow reader, and I think I can count the number of books I had read from age 7 to 14 on 2 hands. I remember holes in burned journals, Godless, The Last Book in the Universe, books about a mutant angel teenager who escaped from test laboratories in alternate universes with multiple moons and ravaging dogs and mechanical piloted insects. I moved on to feminism and absurdity, Tom Robbins and Dejana Barnes. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Holden Caulfield. My writing was always really goofy. My college application shamed me so badly I couldn't articulate things in writing. It's a miracle now that I can type something substantial and coherent. I always just filled the standard that was being impressed on all of us. I never felt the need to stand out creatively or to do well because I just didn't, and that became normalcy. I wasn't passionate about writing, even when I secretly tried and did well. My high school English professor begged me to snap out of it when he said to me, "Juliana, you're so smart, just..." And the last bit of advice he gave me was lost in that fleeting sense of adequacy. I'm smart, I don't need to try harder, I can do anything. My writing and my reading is so neglected. I stick to the same books today. I read and ponder and fiddle with the pages of books that I know I should delve into all the way. Writing has become lucid to me. I can sit here and type as easily as I could have a conversation verbally. Whether or not my voice is sensible and communicative, well, I'm still trying to see myself without my own ego and bias, assuming everything that needs to be said is, and whatever should be said that isn't important enough, obviously, because I didn't say it. I'm beginning to think that I can continue this illiteracy all night.